Hi everyone. Last week I actually did a twin flame video, and I did say that I was going to do a karmic read, and I did try recording a couple, but for some reason they cut out in the middle, which was quite odd. And you know, if there wasn't a message there, then what was there, frankly? But anyway, this time we are doing a karmic read. Let's give it a go. See how the karmic is feeling about the situation. This is for those of you who have a divine masculine in a karmic relationship. So I just want to see what the thoughts of the karmic are generally about the relationship, and see what's going to happen. See what the next steps are going to be. So, Spirit, we're looking at karmic relationships, please. How is the karmic feeling in the relationship with the divine masculine at the moment? How is the karmic feeling? Thank you. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so we have a detached feeling karmic at the moment. Do remember that this won't resonate with all of you, so please sort of don't try and make it fit. Listen. They've just said inner voice. I will go back over these cards in a second, but it does sort of shout out at me that someone is listening to their inner voice. The karmic is listening to their inner voice. Do we have room for one more card, I think, Spirit? Okay. They've just said do 6, which is bizarre, so I'm going to keep 3 and 3. While we're on a roll, I'm going to put out all 6. So we have seek the truth. Again, a lead card. We've got take the lead, and we've got lead here. Whoop. Which one is it, Spirit? That one. Okay. Rebuild. This is fascinating energy. So, of course, we started off with, I think that's quite clear, I don't need to lift it, a card of detachment. The karmic in this situation is feeling very detached from her relationship with, I say her, it could be him. Please, you know, just fit the genders as it resonates, because we're talking energy. Okay, so the divine the karmic is actually feeling a very detached energy where the divine masculine is concerned. This card's very interesting because it's almost as though I keep saying divine masculine. Why is that? Obviously, we're talking about the karmic relationship with the divine masculine, but his energy must be coming through really strongly at the moment. We feel like the spirit are drawing my attention to this tree. I've never noticed that on this card before, but it's almost like it's a time for growth. It's a time for the karmic to let go of things that aren't working for them. So, you know, whereas we always tend to feel that it's the karmic that's clinging on to the divine masculine, and in some cases it is, there's also this inner feeling from some of the karmics that, you know what, it's almost like they've just said dead wood. So the relationship, it's time for them to grow, because the wood here is dead. You see, there's no leaves on this tree. And this is very symbolic of letting go of the dove. It's almost like the karmics are realizing that it's time for them to let go. And they are feeling detached. There's no sense of sort of this clingy energy that we used to feel before. As I said earlier, it feels like the karmic is beginning to listen to their inner voice. Now, this is very interesting. If you've watched the twin flame reading that I did a little while ago, you will see that the divine masculine is now really listening to that inner voice, being guided by the universe. And it looks like the karmic's in a similar position. You know, the karmic is really thinking things through, because there's not this emotional push-pull energy anymore. The karmic is now listening to the inner voice and saying, do you know what? Because I've got this feeling of detachment, what next for me? You know, looking for that inner guidance to push them forward to whatever stage of their life they need to go to next. They're ready to step up. As I said, we've got 2 cards of leadership here. We're going to do some clarifiers in a moment to see if there's any sort of difference between these 2 cards, because You know, here they are, ready to take control of this situation, ready to sort of move on, or at least ready to address any of the issues they need to address. Very much ready to take the lead. I'm feeling a much stronger karmic than I've felt before. You know, in the old karmic readings I used to do, the karmic was very emotionally needy, but it somehow feels that this air of detachment has enabled the karmic to step back and look at what they want for themselves. And whereas before it was very much about, I must have the divine masculine, he's mine, I want to keep him for me, regardless of whether we're arguing. Now the karmic is looking within, which is so much healthier for the karmic and for the divine masculine. They're focusing within and saying, do you know what? Some change needs to happen. I'm ready to take the lead here. And, you know, we have to have some serious discussions. I'm ready to find out the truth of this situation, you know, and I'm ready to be honest. You know, maybe the karmic is ready to actually step into their power and say, do you know what? Actually, this relationship isn't making me happy. You know, whatever their truth is, as I say, because this is a collective reading, it will be different for all karmics, obviously. But there's something here where she needs to, I love this card because we have the two heads here, you know, and it's almost like she wants to look between, you know, the two sort of, I was going to say between the two heads, that's not what I'm meaning, but it's almost like she wants to tear this relationship apart and look at what the truth is in the middle, you know. Again, we have this card of leadership. This really feels to me like, you know, the karmic has been addressing inner issues for themselves. They've stepped out of their shadow self, which we see here, ready to take the lead, as we saw up there. That's a really, really strong card. And I do feel that because they've listened to their inner voice, it has given them the strength to step forward and to say, do you know what? This isn't the journey I planned, but I'm now ready to step into my power and I'm ready to take the lead in this situation. And if one of us needs to move on, I'm the one that's ready to take the lead here. Because, you know, life's too short and I'm actually ready to rebuild. You know, my heart, the happiness of my heart, my inner being is in my hands and I'm ready to take the lead and move on. I'm really pleased for the karmic, to be honest, because I think this is so empowering. And I never ever thought we'd get to the stage where we could say that, because it just never felt like that before. I'm going to move these down so that I can actually put some, see if we need some extra information here. Cards. Yeah, I'm going to stick with these. Okay, let's just do some tarot clarifiers. This isn't going to be a hugely long reading, but let's have a look. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're taking this one. Yeah, you see, it feels like the karmic has had lots of people around this relationship that have got a lot of opinions, a lot of well, a lot of interference, really. You know, it feels like it's felt like a bit of I was going to say battleground, not battleground exactly. It just feels like there's been a lot of meddling, a lot of gossiping, a lot of interference that has left this karmic feeling very much out in the cold. So, you know, I don't know whether they've been listening to the opinions of others or whether they don't want the opinions of others and it's been given anyway. But it kind of feels like life has been difficult and has left the karmic feeling cold and emotionally detached. And, you know, having seen that card, it feels like the karmic is feeling not only detached from the divine masculine, but also from others around her. You know, there may well be I was going to say a touch of depression. I don't want to use that obviously in a clinical term because I'm not a medical practitioner, but you know, it almost feels like the karmic has felt a bit sort of lost and detached from the world, really, not just detached from the divine masculine. So what has this inner voice brought her? Yeah, again, needing to speak her truth, needing to, maybe she's been hearing things that have actually, and I'm referring to her as her, but as I say, take it as it comes. We feel very much that, she's been learning her truth. She's been learning about her inner self, the messages. She stepped out of her shadow self. She's been listening to her inner guidance and she's discovering her truth. It's almost like she's now got the clarity that she didn't have before. It's interesting this, she's been listening to that inner voice, and this clarity is helping her to cut through all the confusion she had before. This is shadow work. There's been definite shadow work going on in this relationship. It's quite interesting today to look at this just from the karmic's perspective, because normally I look at it, in relation to the divine masculine and bring in his energy. But today, it's very much about how the karmic is feeling about things, and this is quite powerful. So what is she willing to take, or what is the karmic willing to take the lead in, please? What's this all about, Spirit? Yeah, look, she feels that she's been missing opportunities. The karmic knows that there might be something better around the corner, but at the moment, in recent past, she's been focusing on maybe all she's lost, or focusing on feeling dissatisfied with life and with how things are. And it almost feels like she's ready to step up and say, do you know what? Whatever opportunities that come my way, I'm ready to grasp them. So what can you tell us about this truth card, Spirit? Oops. Yeah, look, we have a card of justice. She wants everything to be fair. She wants to be honest. She wants to be, to get this balanced out, basically, If there's truth to be spoken, because she has the clarity now, or, if she just wants to find out maybe what the divine masculine actually wants. Maybe they've not been communicating very well in recent months or even years for some of them. She doesn't want to have this blindfold around her anymore. She wants things to be straightforward, to be fair for both of them, and to be balanced out. So now that the shadow work has been done and the karmic is ready to take the lead, where does this leave the karmic, Spirit? Yeah, she's feeling a lot stronger, much stronger, and we see this tornado behind this lady here. And it's almost like all the arguing, all the difficulties, she feels that she's come out of that stronger. She feels that all the arguing and all the difficulties are behind her. The shadow work has been done and she's ready to move forward. And Five of Pentacles, here we are. She's moving on to better things because, there's a feeling of, for some of them, they maybe felt sort of that they were lost and a bit out in the cold, as we say. It's a very snowy scene here. But finally, having done the shadow work, they're feeling that they're finding the light to light the way forward. Okay. So, they have this inner strength, they have this desire, however difficult life seems, however secure they feel their environment was, with this house that's sort of solid and, maybe that's where their security was. But the karmic's now feeling they have the strength to branch out on their own. For some of them, there may be a child involved in this situation because we have a child here. But even so, the karmic is feeling very empowered to move things forward. We don't see any love cards here, so she's not looking at moving forward with the divine masculine. Yeah, she's ready to stand up, look, and be recognized for her inner strength. This is so interesting. She has people around her who are supporting this move as well, and they're going to help her rebuild whatever it is that she needs to rebuild. You know, that inner you know, healing her heart, if there's some healing to be done. You know, we have the angel wings here, which suggests that this, you know, while you rebuild, you're also healing. But, you know, she has people around her that recognize her strengths and recognize the work she's put in and are ready to give her that support. But equally, you know, in the past when we saw this card for the karmic, it was very much about vanity, very much about being recognized as, you know, in quite a shallow sort of way. But this has a much deeper meaning here. It has, you know, the energy of this card is about her standing in her strength and being recognized for what she's achieved. So, you know, this is looking really good in terms of the karmic and their future, but also for the knock-on effect that will have for the divine masculine and the divine feminine. You know, because if the karmic is ready to take those steps, and it feels a very positive energy from these cards. I've never had that from a karmic reading before. So, you know, it definitely feels like we've had a huge energy shift for the karmic and the divine masculine. Let me get some guidance. I'm really into this little bowl at the moment and these little cards. I'm not looking at them, so let's see. What are the energies around the karmic at the moment that we need to be aware of? Joy. Yeah, you see, the karmic looks like, it's almost like this strength card, as we said here. You know, the difficult times are behind. You see, she's pointing her wand at the tornado. And, you know, it feels like now she wants to rebuild and have some joy in her life. What else, please? Oh, one. Oh, we've got two that are flipped out. Let's see. Enthusiasm, yeah. So she's feeling definitely empowered at the moment, much happier, much stronger, and she has an air of expectancy about her. I don't think for a moment this is about a pregnancy. I feel that this is about her being enthusiastic about the next stage of her life and having the expectation that what she's heading towards will be better. One more, please, Spirit. Haha, this is a blank card. Love this. This is very much about her having expectations about what is coming and recognizing that it's a fresh start with a blank canvas for her to rebuild her future, or he to rebuild his, which, as I say, we're not looking at genders. It's just energy. So the karmic's ready to move into better times, you know, much better times, which will free the divine masculine. Perfect. I want to just get some of these. Let's pull a couple of these and then we're done. I'm not making this a long reading. What's the message, please, regarding the karmic? What advice does Spirit have for the karmic, please? Be proud of yourself. Yeah. Because this karmic, you know, remember those days when, for those of you who have always been with my channel, remember those days when the karmic was very needy and relied on the divine masculine for everything. She was almost like sucking the energy out of the divine masculine. But, you know, there's been this whole shadow work going on, this growth, you know. So, yes, I'm not surprised Spirit are telling the karmic to be proud of themselves for making that shift, basically. One more, Spirit, please. Thank you. Yeah, unleash your kindest self. So, you know, this is maybe a message to the karmics out there that, you know, having paid their karmic debt, it's now time to be kind to themselves and go for their own divine partnership, you know? Incredibly important. Right. I keep saying I'm only going to do one more, then I'm going to finish. But for some reason, they want me to pull these. These are tiny angel cards. I haven't got the book with me, so we'll see what comes up. I can't take all of them. Let's take this one. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Look at this. So this was Archangel Rochelle, and it says, find something lost from life. Exactly what we were just saying. Now that the karmic has gathered the strength and gone through the shift and paid their karmic debt, they should be proud of themselves, ready to look for what is right for them, what is their divine relationship. And that is what's been missing from their lives. That's why they were presenting as so needy with the divine masculine, because it wasn't where they were supposed to be. Okay, I'm going to leave that really short. I don't like to focus on karmic situations for very long. I don't like to bring that into my energy as much as anything. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you have done, please like, share. Please check out also the twin flame reading I did earlier, Messages from Your Divine Masculine. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day or your evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye.